In a world of COVID and the whole world going to pot, I really do think this is a movie that we all bloody well need. Jungle Cruise is directed by, well, I don't want to butcher his name, so I'll put it here for you in the edit. And it stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt and Jack Whitehall. In Jungle Cruise we follow Lily and McGregor Houghton, who have, with the help of skipper Frank, are looking for a very ancient tree with petals that can heal any known disease, ailment, curse or whatever. Basically they're looking to change medicine as we know it.
What a really nice thing to do.
Disney have a trend at the moment, not necessarily a good one, where they find something that sticks, that people like, and then they start rinsing at it and squeezing the stone, and they just milk everything they can from the sacrificial teat until there is effectively nothing left. We're all bored of it, or they've just gone too far. But every so often Disney will remember that they are a family run business. That's what they've been in since the 1930s, and every so often, as I say, they remember, oh my god, we do stuff for kids and that's for fun and it isn't necessarily going to have to make them a lot of money. It's just a film that everybody will like, and that is what they have here in droves with Jungle Cruise. So, as some people will know, Jungle Cruise is based around a theme park ride. Now, this isn't the first time Disney have done this, of course. If you already know this, then this isn't news to you. But obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean, one of the biggest franchises in the world, is based on a Disney ride. It was a Disney ride before it was ever a movie, and then if you go now, they just incorporated people like Captain Barbossa, Jack Sparrow, William Turner. They're all in the ride. Jungle Cruise is the same. It was a ride beforehand, which they integrate into the film perfectly, may I add, towards the sort of first 10-15 minutes, especially introducing The Rock. There's this really cool thing where he's showing people and, you know, kind of tricking them into the ancient mysteries of the rainforest and the lake, and he's using it to make it look like a ride. That's a really nice way of integrating the ride into a movie. Really inventive. I have a feeling, now that we all know that it's a ride, Emily Blunt, Jack Whitehall and The Rock will, of course, I'm assuming, be animatronics for the end of time and the end of days, now that this film has come out. But yeah, it was a ride, now we've got this, and it's fantastic. This is one thing that I think they got wrong with Black Widow, putting it on Disney+, but with this film I think it was the perfect thing to do, because releasing it in the big theatres is great, but releasing it at home is greater. To do both at the same time I think is a brilliant idea in a film of this scale, because what Disney have done here is they've created a movie that is family fun, and they sometimes forget their roots, as I said earlier on in the video, but it's just great that they have this film that everyone can enjoy, have a laugh. You could be 5 years old or 55 years old. I'll be honest with you, me and my wife have watched this film 3 times. It's still brilliant. It's a great little film, and Disney have done what they should be doing. This is their bread and butter, making great little family films. They've gone back to the roots of it, and releasing it on home video is a perfect way to do it. I liked watching it at home. I think, yeah, the big screen experience would have been great, but it's brilliant, and I know it's on Disney+, but I'll still buy it on Blu-ray and I'll watch it again. It's such a lovely little wholehearted film that felt classic Disney to me. When it comes to characterization, they've really done their homework on who they've gone into the film. The 3 main characters in this movie I think are perfectly cast. They are really good fun. Of course, Dwayne Johnson, the most lovable man in the world, with abs that look like bloody Mount Vesuvius or something. He's made out of molten rock. He really is, pardon the pun. But that brings me on to his character. You know, you get to fall in love with the skipper that quickly, because he does a lot of puns, he's got a little light-hearted jokes, the thing I mentioned earlier. He makes a theme park ride as a little bit of a scam to make people sort of more engaged in what he's doing and just giving boat rides to tourists who don't really care. They've put The Rock's personality into it. Okay, he probably doesn't do pun jokes all day, every day like he does in the film, but you can tell he's enjoying it. He's loving having a little light-hearted character. He's not just trying to blow Jason Statham and Idris Elba up on the back end of a truck. He's having fun. He's just a skipper of a little boat. Kind of. Spoilers! And let's be honest, if you don't like The Rock's charm, there's something wrong with you. So, if you don't like The Rock's charm, why are you watching this movie? Emily Blunt, who, can I just add, I'm completely in love with, was brilliant as the swashbuckling... try and say that a lot, it's a lot of H's, that one. As the swashbuckling Lily Houghton, she's just... Houghton? She's confident, she has goals, she is knowing what she wants in the film. She's not a damsel in distress. Her brother takes that kind of mantle, which I'll get to in a little bit. She's just knows what she wants. She is extremely confident. A really good laugh, and just like The Rock, I think that Emily Blunt was absolutely loving playing this character. It's not too much of a departure what she's doing lately with Mary Poppins, the kind of family-friendly style stuff. I say lately, Mary Poppins has been out for fucking years, but you get my point. She's just fantastic. We love Emily Blunt and Krasinski in this house. Anything the two of them do, we are bang on for. So, if you like Emily Blunt and The Rock, it just keeps piling, all the good stuff, it just keeps piling up. But my MVP, of course, is Mr. Jack Whitehall. Now, some of you UK watchers will know, of course, who Jack Whitehall is. He's everywhere over here. He's slowly been trying to chip away at America. He was famously cut out of the original first Frozen. He was one of the little ball elf things, and as soon as it opens its mouth, it's supposed to be Jack Whitehall, but they cut away. Very famously said that in quite a few chat shows. He does a few chat shows. He's a stand-up comedian. For a little bit of context, his father is Michael Whitehall. Now, if you've been on Netflix, you've seen Travels with My Father. That's him and his actual father. His father was a PR and a manager for theatre actors, like, people may not have heard of these, but Cilla Black in the 1970s and 1980s. He was a big deal. He was a manager for very big clientele. So because of that, Jack Whitehall's not had a very hard upbringing. He's very much has a father, a conservative father who does certain things. Watch Travels with My Father, you'll get what he's like. He's a man of privilege, and they've given him a role. Now, I've seen him in a few things. He also did Bad Education here in the UK, which is like a comedy. He plays a teacher. But they've given him a role here that very much goes on to his strengths, because I think he's got family like this. I would say that Jack Whitehall has a lot of the meat of this film. He has a coming out scene, which is obviously very prominent and very welcome. He's, got these funny jokes with all of the stuff he's carrying, and The Rock puts it all in the river, all these kinds of things. He's got this sort of jovial English accent and learns to, calm down a little bit by the end. It's a very typical thing, but very entertaining, and obviously he's drawn inspiration from someone, maybe even his father, and he's made it a thing that's very good. It's the most comfortable I've seen him on film, which is good. I think, okay, it's a bit typecast for him if he's continued doing it, but it's a strength of his is the posh Tory humour thing, which was fantastic. And me and the missus sitting there going, he's great in this, really good fun, and didn't take himself seriously. He's a comedian, he knows that. A lot of the time I think in his roles he fails, he tries to be too funny, but this suits him down to the ground. Sorry Jack if you don't like being called that, but you suit a posh twat. Sorry. Also, the chemistry between Jack and Emily is just brilliant. They very much remind me of John Hannah and Rachel Weisz in The Mummy, the 1999 one. We don't talk about the other one. That kind of the posh brother with the white suit on, with the sister who just goes on and kicks ass and goes with Brendan Fraser and shoots some guns. I feel it's very much the same sort of dynamic. And who doesn't love The Mummy? Honestly. Bringing it back with shit. Brendan Fraser's where it's at. Yeah, it's just that very much reminded me the whole time, and I've watched it, as I said, I've watched it a few times. It just reminds me of them two being morons, and that was years and years ago. How long ago now? Over 20 years ago. It's great fun. That's very much what it reminds me of. That chemistry they have is so strong. Guys, if you want a classic Disney film that is a damn good time, you're really going to enjoy it. Friends and family, you can watch it together. I think it works at home or in the big screen. I think that's brilliant. It's a really good time. Do I recommend it? Of course I do. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. What a great time Jungle Cruise is. So there you have it, guys. There's my take on Jungle Cruise. Have you seen the movie? Please let me know. Did you watch it on Disney Plus, or did you go to the big screen, or did you do both to have a comparison on what it felt like? Please let me know in the comments down below. Let's discuss it. Guys, please don't forget, we are still only 1.4 million away from Chris Stuckman. Let's get there. Let's show him what we're made of. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, show your friends. I've got loads of videos. Show them what I've got. And then, guys, until next time, this is your friendly neighbourhood ginger guy saying, Ginge out.